To succeed, you must fail. In failure and in suffering, all the answers are in there. All the answers to all the test questions. The test is your life.
Want to soar? Get a mentor. So today, let's learn from one of the best, David Goggins, and his top advice on how to change your life. Mentor me, David. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Tap into suffering.
So think about it, when I say suffering, people cringe. People, that's the one word, whenever I post about it, people cringe. It's not about suffering and how people may look at suffering. Like you have to just go to a place that just every day of your life is suffering. You have to tap into suffering every day of your life because we have so much scarring that we have to clean up. You have to look at suffering as almost like I look at failure. To succeed, you must fail. In failure and in suffering, all the answers are in there. All the answers to all the test questions. The test is your life. All the answers are in there. You don't have to live in suffering and pain and failure all the time. You have to learn, I need to visit it. Like people hate working out. You're only going to visit working out maybe an hour a day. 23 other hours of the day, you're not in it. But how you become in shape is you must visit suffering, visit working out 1 hour a day. Visit suffering 1 hour a day. Visit your past failures 1 hour a day. The relationship with it is the answers are in there. They are in there. Within the suffering, go in there, and I call it the live autopsy. The live autopsy. How you find out someone died? They crack you open after you're dead. How you can live is do it while you're alive. Go back in your brain, crack it open while you're alive. Don't wait until you're dead to figure out why you died. Do it while you are living. Go in there, go into the suffering, go into the pain of your life and say, why did this suck for me so bad? Why am I afraid of all this stuff? Why have I shut down the whole world? I guarantee I'll tell you why you shut down the whole world. It's in these nooks of the suffering within your brain, in the scarring, are all the answers to why you are on the couch feeling sorry for yourself. They lie within the scars. Visit them for at least an hour a day, study them, and then you'll find out more about yourself. You will then grow. So don't look at it as every day I suffer. Go into it an hour a day. Learn from yourself, learn from life, learn from your failures, learn from your insecurities, learn from your self-doubt. Don't just say, I'm afraid to jump off an airplane. What makes you afraid of it? Study it. That's why I studied my mind. Why I became so powerful in the mind is because I realized I was weak. So instead of running away from the mind, I dove into it and said, what is making me weak? Oh, this makes sense. I came from hell. I came from a place that beat me down to nothing, which is why I'm afraid. All this makes sense. So systematically, one by one, I went back and met every single person in my mind, every situation. I went one-on-one with them again in my mind and said, okay, let's now revisit this. And that's how you do it. That's how it works.
Absolutely, man. I love that. That is brilliant advice.
Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
You will never learn from people if we always tap dance around the truth. Everything I didn't want to do is what got me to where I'm at today. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms.
And rule number 2, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is get real with yourself.
It was my junior year in high school, and I fell back a lot. I fell back in this hole of life. The second you think that you've overcome it and you climbed Everest, you're on that last hold, and life will say, not today, and it'll push you down. And my junior year in high school, I missed a whole bunch of school, was lying to my mom, had like a 1 point something GPA. I was just jacked up. I mean, I was in one of the worst spots in my life. And my mom was going through a lot of shit too, and she didn't have time to sit back and baby me. And it was me against me. My pants were down to my knees. I was not, whatever was going on, I was in a bad shape. So I went to the bathroom and I had this weird haircut because I wanted attention. I was an attention getter. I went to an all-white school pretty much. Some of the kids liked me, a lot of them didn't like me, whatever. Didn't matter. I was looking for something. So I would dress differently, crazy haircuts, and I went to the mirror and the reflection in it revealed a lot of bad things. A lot of things that I was hiding behind the saggy pants. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror going like, God, dog, dude, you are something else, man. Like you have created a character. I want to be at the cool guy table. And whatever I could do to get attention, I did. It wasn't me. It wasn't who I was inside, but I was scared for anybody to know who I was inside. So in that accountability mirror, I call it, I got real with myself. I said, you have a third grade reading level, which is hard to admit when you're a junior in high school that you copied on every single thing you did because of fear they're gonna put me in a special school. We all know what special means. I'm gonna have a title on myself the rest of my life. And being cool, you don't have a title on yourself. So I started cheating. I was dumb. And people say, oh, you know, you have a learning disability. I had a learning disability, but I realized I was lazy. So I called myself out there. I called myself out every which way possible. I didn't call myself out. I was just honest. I was honest. Look at yourself, man. Look at yourself. And it was that day, and a couple other days after that, I just got real with myself. And every day I came home, I called the accountability mirror. What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror? What am I going to do today? And a lot of it was I stopped sitting with the cool guys. I actually tucked my shirt in and went to school looking like, hey, man, this is how I'm going to look. If you don't like it, so be it. I had to really wear this layer of skin. I had to develop a really callous skin on me to take whatever you're going to call me, you're going to call me. Whatever I'm going to be, you know, I want a geek, but whoever I am, you're going to see me. You're going to see me for who I am because I need to change who I'm not. And that accountability mirror just became raw. And when I became fat over the years, because I fell back in the hole, I called myself fat because I was fat. And people don't want to do that. They want to say, oh, don't call yourself fat. Don't call yourself dumb. If you're not real and raw with who the you are, nothing's going to change. And in this nice new world that we live in, we want to hear, you're just a little big. No, man, you might be fat. And it's okay to hear that from yourself and from everybody else. So that's where it started at. And it's raw. It gets ugly sometimes with me in that mirror, but I'm also proud of myself to be able to tell myself that and then fix what's in that mirror.
Now I've got a special bonus clip from David on how to take souls that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for a 3-point landing question time. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. How can you tap into your suffering? Number 2, where do you need to get more real with yourself? And number 3, what small change will you make starting today?
When you grow up weak and you start to master your mind, because my whole thing is whenever I'm weak at something, or whenever I'm scared of something, I master it. I was a weak-minded person, so I mastered my mind. And in mastering my mind, I mastered the human mind. And I realized why I no longer judge people, why I no longer put people on a pedestal, because we're all f***ed up in our own way. We all have demons. Some people hide them better than other people. So I know we all have them. But me knowing that, I know that most alpha males are very fragile. Very fragile. They never want to see another person harder than them, especially in that kind of realm.
The ego attachment
the ego,
is very strong.
Ego will f*** you up every time. Ego is serious. So if I can hurt your ego, I got you. So by me having such a fragile ego growing up, all this was my advantage. I was doing a live autopsy on how f***ed up I was. I was like, hey, this f***ed me up. I better f*** other people up too. So I started using all these different tools and tactics to get in instructors' heads. And the taking souls, that's where it happened, man. We're Wednesday, freezing cold. Everybody's jackhammering. Everybody wants to, everybody's just wanting to get through it now.
Jackhammering is when you just can't stop shivering.
You can't stop shivering. You're sitting there just uncontrollably jackhammering. And the instructors take great pride in watching you suffer. They do. In a sick way, it's kind of funny. You were there once as a student. Now you're an instructor. But I knew, how would I be thinking if I was an instructor? I would love seeing this sadistic go on. But what wouldn't I like to see? I would hate to see some guys just looking like this is just another day on the beach and go yourself. I would hate to see that.
Yeah.
So I
They
said,
all want to think like when they did it, they were harder.
they were harder.
Yeah.
Everybody's hard. So I said, you know what, man? It's time. I can't fight you. You guys can me up all day long. That's your job. And I love your job. I love what you guys are doing. You guys are making us better. But now I want to take the tactical advantage and I'm going to start with you. So I got my boat crew, Bill Brown. I had Chris Kyle on my boat crew,
Right.
American Sniper. I had a couple of hardcore. And everybody right now is kind of like in their own world. Let's just get through this, man. I can't wait till Friday so we can graduate, how we can get going. I said, let's go ahead and have some fun. I said, we're gonna start with these guys. So the evolution here was we just got through with med check. You know, we're stripped down to nothing, and they're checking us out, making sure we're good. Checking for pneumonia, checking for up knees. My knees all jacked up, but they're giving me shots and shit. And I was like the boat crew leader of boat crew 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the front of the boat, and I tell our guys, this is what we're going to do. The boat was like on our heads. That's all it was. We're supposed to lift the boats up above our head. That's all you got to do. But when you're this weak, you're this fragile, you're this tired, the boat's heavy. So there's a thing you can do when you do boat presses. You can get the boat and like just toss it up and catch it. And that shows like you're jacked up. So everybody's holding the boat and they're shaking and the boat's starting to come down their head and all the boat crews are all lined up and they're up. And I'm looking at that and I turn around my boat crew and I say, hey guys, it's time to take some souls. And they're like, what the are you talking about? I said, we're going to get you. I go, you see all these instructors out here, all in their jackets and drinking coffee and laughing and smiling and shit? I want their faces to go straight up numb. So we're going to do this. We're going to start boat pressing this. Just take my lead. Trust me. You'll get energy from it. We start throwing this boat up in the air, catching it, throwing it up and catching it. And we start yelling, can't hurt boat crew 2. We're yelling our ass off and we're doing it. And they make us stop. Like what the like stop. I look at these instructors and their faces literally look like someone like just like took their soul out. 'Cause I know where their minds were. Like they were thinking about themselves. Like, what the just happened, man? I know me on Wednesday, I couldn't have done that. How are they doing it? So the rest of the time, going through Hell Week, it was like we
owned it.
We owned it.
Right.
Boat Crew 2, we won every single race. We were just dominating. And it was a strong boat crew, and that's where Taking Souls is there's a few Taking Souls stories, but that's one of them.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.